Southern California's album alternative. This is FM 101.9. Merrily Kelly with you. I'm in the music hall this afternoon with Willy Porter, a singer, songwriter, guitarist, co-producer of his latest album, Dog-Eared Dream. It's been out in the record stores about 6 months. The first album came out in 1990 called The Trees Have Soul, and so does Willy. Willy plays sort of a funky acoustic rock and roll. He's here today with his guitar and his disarming humor. Welcome, Willy.
Why, thank you very much, Merrily.
You're here because you got a show tonight at the Troubadour.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want to know is, you're sitting here with one guitar and some headphones on. How are we going to see you on stage tonight?
Tonight I'll be with one guitar but no headphones.
Uh-huh.
So it'll be totally naked. Yeah.
Is this something you do often? Are you kind of that like traveling troubadour folk guy?
Well, it's kind of it's interesting. Since the record's been getting a lot of airplay out here, I decided that I would come out solo and kind of blaze a trail, and then hopefully come through with my band in a couple months. So I'm just hopeful that that'll happen. That's my whole plan here.
So there is a band.
There's a band.
It's not just Willy.
Yeah.
Well, could you do a song for us from Dog-Eared Dream, Mr. Willy Porter?
I'd be happy to. This is the lead-off track, Merrily. It's a tune called Angry Words. I can see those visions dancing across the foot of my bed. Crumpled sheets, too tired bodies, sins I commit now in my head. I've cursed your name 1,000 times more. Your photograph lies deep at the bottom of my drawer, and when I looked at it this morning, I had no angry words to say. No angry words to say. The coffee maker that you gave me finally broke down. It up and died this morning with a groaning sound. All these ghosts I have driven out, driven them from my house. It's a simple life I lead, still got a lot to learn about. Yeah, but I'm finally getting over. Yes, I'm finally getting over. Yes, I'm finally getting over the sad part of yesterday. No angry words to say. I learned a little about forgiveness, a little about sin, a little about the soul of a man living within his skin. I ain't afraid of new love that could be starting. I don't wear a face that says I'm weary, broken-hearted. I don't need someone to smother the love that you discarded. No, 'cause I'm finally getting over. Yes, I'm finally getting over. Yes, I'm finally getting over the sad part of yesterday. Yes, I'm finally getting over. Yes, I'm finally getting over. I'm finally getting over the sad part of yesterday. Da da da. Thank you.
All the way from Milwaukee, Willy Porter is with us in the Music Hall. You have a style, and it's not just on that one song, that's very familiar and relatable. And I don't know if it's just the lyrics. I think even your sound, I can hear traces of everybody from David Wilcox to Bruce Cockburn in the way that you sound. Are you that way in real life, or do you kind of like get behind the guitar and the pen, and that's how you relate to people?
Well, that's a really good question. I think my whole angle on songwriting is just trying to be realistic, and show some realism in my own life experience, and in some ways that relates to other people. I've listened to a lot of acoustic music. I grew up with Neil Young and Bruce Cockburn, and have done shows with Wilcox and stuff, and have really made some nice connections there musically and otherwise. So I really appreciate the comparison. But for me, the music has been a very organic thing. I've really just tried to share my own thing, and I'm not a studied musician. I'm a self-taught player, so everything is really sort of, I believe in the nutritional theory of music, that you are what you hear, and that really comes into play with my stuff. So,
well, maybe that's where the accessibility and reality comes from, because it's you. You're just sort of, I guess, making it up as you go along. A song like that, so many people can relate to, the details, like the coffee maker and the way it groans. I wonder, though, when you wrote the song, were you really finally over it, or was it hoping that you would get to that point? Can you be that honest when you're writing a song?
Well, I think it was the realization that I picked up a photograph of this person who had moved out, and when I looked at it, I thought, I'm not upset with this person anymore, and that I sat down and the song just kind of happened. So, yeah, I mean, it was a realization that I'm finally over the whole blues of the thing, and the coffee maker, all that stuff's real, so I just wrote down what really happened, and there was the tune.
Isn't there a dilemma, though, because then you get reminded of that person every time you sing the song?
Yeah, but it's affirmation, instead of confirmation of the ill feeling, it's affirmation that you're past it. So,
well, the good thing is you've sort of passed it along to other people now. They can embrace it as, yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. How do you know that? It's
really nice to come into towns and have people come up to me and say, I've heard that song and I really relate to it. That's really a nice connection to make with people. So,
Willy Porter with us playing tonight at the Troubadour. I know you do a lot of colleges and coffee houses. Does that inadvertently lump you in with the folk crowd? Are you a folkie?
Well, I don't know. I think my opinion of folk is really the only folk music today, really, that's music of the people currently is rap. I view that as really being a folk music form. And so I'm not singing traditional tunes, and I'm not really a bard or a storyteller about the current, human or socio-political situation. So I'm more of a contemporary, and my musical influences come from all across the globe, So I look at myself as being more of a progressive acoustic artist than really folk. So.
Well, we will find out tonight, I guess.
I guess so.
See how he pulls it off at the big-time Troubadour concert place there in L.A.
That's going to be a good time.
Can you play another song for us?
I would love to. This is a tune called Fear Only Fear. And I wrote it with a buddy of mine named Tom Pirazzoli, who lives out in New Hampshire. And it goes something like this. If a wild woman of wisdom gave up her way for a safe path, I would ask the question, what wisdom is there in that? Fear, only fear, gonna bring her to her knees. If a man tells a bad joke, one against God or race, and another man laughs, but laughs only with his face, what is it that breaks? Is it the ability to stop? Stop the hate or stop the waste of language in our hearts. to our knees. Fear, only fear, is the rapist of dreams. Fear, only fear, I fear those fears. When I walk in that dark place, and I face what is there, I will try to face it in the mirror. If your heart says to let go, but your mind is so afraid, let your heart take control. You can live with the decisions that you've made. Fear, only fear, will bring us to our knees. Fear, only fear, there's a line between you and me. Fear, only fear, I fear those fears. It's a line between you and me. It's a line between dreams and reality. Thank you.
Willy Porter from the new album Dog-Eared Dream. I got to ask you a couple things about this album. First of all, I heard somewhere that you've been playing and writing for 15 years. And it says you recorded this album in 12 days. Were you just really ready?
It was funny. There was a lot of good synchronicity with that record. I was working with a band in Milwaukee, and Johnny Clarko, who's a drummer, he and I had been together, and we went to high school together and stuff, and had been in a bunch of different bands. And all of a sudden, I booked the studio time and called these guys in, and we just went in there and banged it out. And it was really a blast. It's fun to make a record on a really tight schedule. I think it forces you to think really creatively and really stay on top of it. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, there's so many times we read in Rolling Stone about the big band, band X, Y, or Z, who was in the studio for 2 years, and when Springsteen, it's been so long since we've heard from him, and here you are, some guy who just less than 2 weeks. Inspirational.
Thank you.
Now,
lot of fun.
The album is called Dog-Eared Dream, and there is a big kind of fish lens photo, fish-eyed lens of a dog on the cover. What? I'm not a dog person. What kind of dog is this?
That's a chocolate lab puppy. And it was a dog that was wandering the east side of Milwaukee. And a buddy of mine, Peter, was walking through the alley with his camera taking some architectural photos, and the dog came up and sniffed the lens, and he just happened to pull off a photo of it, and it came out pretty cool.
Wasn't that a Spinal Tap album, Sniff the Lens? Smell the, I don't know, something like that. But so you're a dog guy.
Yeah, I love them. Dogs are awesome.
Dogs are cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so is Willy Porter. It's been a pleasure having you in the Music Hall this afternoon.
Thank you so much.
And we're looking forward to seeing you tonight at the Troubadour. I think you go on 9-ish. Somebody signal me here. Yeah? 10. Well, get there early because you're going to want to. They're probably going to have seats set up, and you want to get right up there and get to know Willy Porter. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Marilee. It's a blast.